Hello and welcome back to the channel English Literature A Click Away. We are going to discuss a very interesting and important topic, that is tenses. It is important from the examination point of view as well as for communication. If your tenses are not right, you cannot communicate well. So let's begin. So what exactly is tense? So tense is that part of grammar that tells us about when the action is taking place, the exact time of action. And it is expressed through various forms of verbs. So the tense is the time of action. Now there are certain things which we need to know. We should have some previous knowledge before we learn about tenses. Now we should be aware about the three forms of verb. That is the basic root form, the past and the past participle. So any verb, main verb has three forms, that is basic or root form. That is the root verb, the root form in which it exists. For example, we have taken the word take here, and for convenience throughout this discussion, we are going to name these root verbs as V1, V2 and V3. So V1 is the basic root form, for example, take. The past form is took, that is V2. The past participle form is the third form of the verb taken, that is V3. Now, you should be aware that is, am, are, been and being are also forms of verb be. So be is not exactly a main verb, but we use different forms of this verb. That is, am, are, I am going, she is talking, we are coming, they have been doing, she is being naughty. So these are also forms of the verb be. Now something else which is very important before we learn about tenses is the identification of subject. I hope you all know what a subject is. Now, for better clarification, we have a sentence here, Sharon goes to school. So in a sentence, in any sentence, there is a subject, a verb and an object. Only then it can mean something. So in this sentence, subject is Sharon. So subject is the noun around which the action revolves, who is either doing the action or is being spoken about. So Sharon goes to school. Sharon is the person, the noun, who is doing. What is she doing? She is going to school. So that's the verb. And school is the object. So object is the noun upon which the action is done. So you should know about the subject. So what should we know? Whether the subject is a first person, second person or third person. These are three cases in which a subject can appear. So first person is when the subject is a speaker. That is talking about himself or themselves. Now this can be singular I or plural we. So in that case, it would be the speaker. Second person is listener. When there's a second person whom you are talking to, whom the speaker is talking to, whom he or she is addressing, it becomes the listener, you. The sentence would be like, you go to school. So there the subject would be you. In case of third person, it is other than speaker and listener. That means the subject is not present there and speaker and listener are involved in discussion about a third person. So the pronouns he, she, they, it may be used, or they can also be names. For example, in this sentence, Sharon is a third person. So Sharon is not present here and we are talking about her. So Sharon is neither the speaker nor the listener. So she is a third person here. Now, why is subject so important? Because verb form depends on the number, gender or person of the subject. So as this number of the subject changes, whether it is singular or plural, or whether it is male or female, or whether it is in first, second or third person, the verb changes accordingly. The verb form changes accordingly. And that is why subject is important. So finally coming to the classification of tenses. So tenses are broadly divided as past, present and future tenses. So past is of course the action that has taken place before. Now remember that the tense depends on the time of speech, time of reporting. Now because I'm talking about it today, yesterday becomes a past. Had I spoken about it yesterday, it would have been present then. So it is in relation to the time of reporting. So past is before, present is what happens now, and future is what would happen in future. So all the three tenses are further divided into simple, continuous, perfect and perfect continuous. So present would tell us about what happened now in 4 different subdivisions. Past would tell us about what happened earlier in again 4 subdivisions, and similarly the future tense. So all of the 3 tenses, past, present and future, will further be classified into simple indefinite, continuous or progressive, perfect and perfect continuous. So in all you will have 3 tenses into 4 forms each. So there are in all 12 tenses. So if we look at simple indefinite tense, so for example, if it is simple present tense, the verb form that is used is either V1 or V2 in case of past. And continuous, also known as progressive tense, for example, present continuous tense, the verb form that is used is always, irrespective of whichever tense you're using, it will be root form of verb, that is basic form V1 plus ing. So keep in mind, wherever there is continuous tense, it would be root form of verb plus ing. So the third subdivision, perfect tense, for example, present perfect tense or past perfect or future perfect. So it is always accompanied by either have or had. Those are the auxiliary depending upon the tense, plus third form of verb, that is the participle form. For the convenience of understanding, we are going with just one single verb throughout the discussion, that is go. So here it would be have gone or had gone depending upon the tense. Perfect continuous, now this is a combination of 2 tenses, that is perfect and continuous. Hence it will have both the elements, that is have been or had been depending upon whether the subject is singular or plural, and root form of verb plus ing. So now you have to see that it is only the perfect tense that takes the third form of the verb, that is the participle form. Now perfect continuous, you would say, where is the third form of the verb? If you see, we have discussed that been is a form of the verb be. So here been is the participle form of third form of the verb be. So that is being used, the auxiliary have been or had been, and the main verb will take the root form of the verb and it will go with the continuous form. So perfect continuous, perfect continuous. So it is root form of verb plus ing. Just to avoid having a lengthy video, we will just discuss present tense in this video. So present tense, the first tense that is formed with the combination of its subdivision is the simple present tense or present indefinite tense. Now what does it imply? Simple present tense is used to imply universal truth, facts, that is regular actions that happen regularly, scheduled actions that happen at regular intervals, or habitual actions, that is habits. Now it is depending upon whether the subject is singular or plural. Remember, the number of the subject matters. So if the subject is singular, the rule goes like this: first form of verb plus s plus es. So you would add s or es to the root form of the verb if in case the subject is singular, and that is that. So it becomes, for example, sun sets in the west. In case the subject is plural, you just use the root form. So subject plus root form plus object. So we have planets. Planets are plural. Revolve around the sun. Revolve is the root form. Also note that sun sets in the west and planets revolve around the sun. These are facts. These are universal truths. Hence we use simple present tense here. Now the second example, that is I go for a walk every day. It is a regular action. It happens every day. It happens regularly. Similarly, we go for a walk every day. Now, in spite of I being singular, we do not add s or es to go here. This is because I is first person. Remember, the person also matters when you want to add a form of verb. So I go for a walk every day. So I always takes up verbs that are used for plurals. So I go for a walk every day. So I and we will take the same root form of verb. Now just to clarify how the es may be added. Now Samuel is third person. A person name is used here. Person who is not present, neither the speaker nor the listener. Hence Samuel goes to school. So in case of third persons, we use root form of verb plus s or es. So go takes es, that is why we say Samuel goes to school. As I said, if the subject is either first person or plural, only then we use just the root form of verb. In all other cases, we add s or es to simple present tense. The next subdivision is present continuous tense. Now, when is this tense used? It is used to imply action is in progress or going on at the given time when we are talking about it, or it is also used when the action is about to progress shortly. Coming to the rule, so the rule is subject plus is, am or are. These are helping verbs, is, am or are, forms of be, plus the main verb, root form of main verb, plus ing, plus object. So wherever, as I said, there is continuous tense, the verb, main verb will be in the form of root form of verb plus ing. Let's look at the examples. So Stephen, again a third person, Stephen is going to school. So in case of third person, it is Stephen is the form of verb used here. Go plus ing to school, going to school. In case of first person, I am talking about myself, I am. Am is the form of verb be, so it is I am. Go plus ing to school. And they, third form of verb, they are going to school. So in case of plural, it would be they are, form of verb be, they are going to school. The next subdivision of present tense is present perfect. So now here it is used to imply the action that is complete or has recently ended while one speaks. So when I'm talking about the thing, the action, it has recently ended. So there present perfect tense is used. Now depending upon whether the subject is singular or plural, that is the number of the subject, we use subject. The rule that is used is subject for singular has plus third form of the verb, that is participle, plus object. So as I said, the third form of the verb participle is only used in case of perfect tenses. So if the subject is singular has, and the same rule is applied, in only change in plural would be instead of has you have. So subject plus have plus third form of the verb. Also note that subject I, that is first person, will also take have. So I told you I is a special person. Okay, you say you can remember it as you give respect to yourself. So when you speak about yourself, the speaker speaks about himself or herself. He takes up verbs which are used mainly for plural. So coming back to Stephen, Stephen has gone to school. So Stephen, so singular, has gone. Now gone is the third form of the verb go, to school. Children is plural, have. So since children is a plural subject, we use have, third form of the verb gone, to school. Coming to the last of the tenses of present tense, that is present perfect continuous. Now this tense is a combination of two tenses, perfect and continuous. So what does it imply? It is used when the action has been taking place for some time and is still going on. Okay, some ongoing action that has started some time before. Now depending upon again whether the subject is singular or plural, we have subject plus, in case of singular, has been. Has, we know, is used for singular. Has been. Been again. Now you remember that been is the third form of the verb be. So this supplies the requirement for perfect tense, has been. For continuous tense, the main verb plus ing, root form of the main verb plus ing plus object. Now there is one special thing about perfect continuous tense, that is, we need to indicate the time when the action has started, because only then can it imply that the action has started taking place some time before. So we add since or for or before the particular time. Similarly in plural, we have subject. For plural we will use have been, have for plurals, also for I. So have been, third form of the verb. Now this again supplies the perfect part of the tense. And for continuous part, we have root form of the verb plus ing plus object. Again, since, for or before the time also goes with plural. Let's look at the examples. So again, Stephen is back. So Stephen has been going to school for 2 years now. So Stephen, so it would mean that Stephen has been going to, so it has been 2 years that Stephen is going to school now. Okay, and he's still doing it. Okay, he's still doing it. He has not left. So it is present tense. So Stephen has been, that is the perfect part, going. Going is the continuous part to school, and this is the special edition for 2 years now. Children have been, now children is plural, children have been going to school since last Monday. So that means children have started going to school since last Monday and they are continuing with it. So that is the present perfect continuous tense. With this we come to the end of the present tense of the tenses, present tense part of the tenses. We will be discussing the past and future tense in the subsequent videos. So stay tuned with English Literature a click away for more interesting videos. Happy learning!